Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm actually happy to see you. Happy New Year. And I hope that this year you can be a little bit generous to make it 4 minutes. Just because perhaps people did not understand what I said the other time, just to recalibrate.
Start driving, I'll see whether you are engaging the writing gears.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill actually seeks to make a number of amendments to the Water Act 2016. And I did raise before that I had serious concern with this bill, because if you look at Part 2 of Schedule 4, if you start with Index 10, where you will find that the counties are given the power to look at policy angles on water matters by the national government. And then if you were to look at Index 11, where water and sanitation services are purely devolved as functions of the county. And this bill is one of the bills that I wish that the entire Senate, or rather all senators, were in the House to actually look at this bill. The entire last year, Mr. Speaker, we spent a lot of time as the committee on, the CPIC committee, dealing with issues of water in counties. And one of the things that we realized, Mr. Speaker, is that a lot of structures that have been put in place that tend to be national bodies have completely hampered the idea of making sure that water services is effective and efficient in counties. And this bill, Mr. Speaker, is one of those bills that actually seeks to claw back on devolution, Mr. Speaker. You know, if you look at section, I might not mention all of them because I have no time. I talked passionately about this bill before. But if you look at something like section 30, Mr. Speaker, it introduces water regulatory authority, which is a national body with so much powers that takes powers out of the counties. If you look at section 31, Mr. Speaker, it also introduced another water regulatory board whose membership and composition, Mr. Speaker, is purely negating the idea of devolution of water. If you look at section 65, Mr. Speaker, waterwork agencies are given more power on dealing with bulk water. And Mr. Speaker, the waterwork agencies have been at the core of making, WSPs, water service providers, Mr. Speaker, not be effective. If you look at how they take big loans, so the name of these WSPs, if you look at how they sit a lot of assets of these WSPs in their own balance sheets, Mr. Speaker, is all chaos that I think that our committee at CPIC has been working tirelessly to be able to deal with and remove. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, if you look at section 119, Mr. Speaker, there is introduction of the Water Tribunal. And if you look at the membership, does not in any way empower counties in a sense. The membership does not make any meaning. I want just to invite senators that let us pay a lot.
Give him 1 minute.
Even 30 seconds. Mr. Speaker, I just want to invite the entire House that please keenly read this bill and do not allow it to go through, because water is life and it is one of the functions that devolved units have that we must give them full power to be able to control. Every suggestion that I'm seeing here is reversing those powers to the national government and make it impossible for devolved units and county governments to take control of water service provision. So, Mr. Speaker, I oppose this bill in its entirety, and I hope that senators will take time to actually read and discern it and understand it and make meaningful decision when it comes to this bill. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.